Hi, I hope you're well. This is a quick spinal mobility flow, so you might be short on time, but you just want to move your body and feel great. So we'll be moving in all directions, so flexion, extension, rotation, lateral flexion, so side to side work. So you should feel opened up, hopefully relieve any tightness and tension that you've got in your center. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get going. So we'll start with some seated spinal flexion work. So we're just going to get into the lumbar spine. So we're going to focus on this lower back as we go through this, finding the C curve. So lifting nice and tall, your shoulders are above your pelvis, crown of the head to the ceiling. Feet are reaching away, they're planted. Knees about 90 degrees, but don't get hung up on that. Feet and knees are a fist distance apart, and just lightly hold behind your knees for the first couple of these. So I want you to just take a deep breath in here, and then exhale as you pull your abdominals backwards. Try and focus on that lower back as you round the base of your spine. So you pull your abdominals in the opposite direction to your feet. Your upper back and your neck and head follow that curve in the lower back, but you're really focusing on those lower abdominals. And then inhale to stack back up, nice and tall. So it's a really simple movement. We're not going far. And again, exhale, pulling the abdominals back away from you. So trying to think of them almost reaching to the wall behind. And inhale to lift up tall. If you want to, now you can remove your hands, otherwise keep holding them behind the knees. And again, exhale, rounding that low spine. So finding your C curve without collapsing in the upper back. And inhale to lift, so it's controlled. One more here, and then we're going to add on. So exhale, curling the base of the spine, pulling back. And inhale, lifting up nice and tall. So now we're going to make this a bit bigger. So I want you to not roll back initially. We're going to find the C curve first again. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, rounding. So finding that strong abdominal work as your abdominals pull away from your fingertips. And then hold here as you then start to roll back. So you're curling the tailbone up to the ceiling, trying to round that lower back as much as you possibly can. When you get to the base of the spine, inhale, hold, and exhale to roll back up. And don't worry if your feet start to come away or if your toes start to come away, just plant into your heels. Keep the lower back rounded as you lift up, and then at the top, inhale, grow tall, flat back. And again, so exhale, rounding the lower back, abdominals activate, and then hold onto that deep scoop. Think of the pelvis constantly tilting up as you roll to the base of the spine. Inhale, hold, and exhale, curling back up. Nice and controlled. And growing tall at the top. Great, we're going to go for two more of these. Exhale, C curve first, and then roll back. Imagine that you're constantly trying to get that tailbone between your legs. Inhale, hold, and exhale, up, and lift. Last one. Exhale, C curve, and then rolling back. Control it, keep checking in with what you're feeling in your body. Inhale, hold, and exhale to lift. Keep pulling your abdominals in the opposite direction to your fingertips, and then inhale, grow tall at the top. Nice. We're going to do the same thing to come all the way down to our backs now. Take this slowly in with control. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, curling the tailbone upwards, finding that deep lower abdominal work, and then hold on to that sensation. We're going to roll down. This time we're going to come all the way to our backs. So keep scooping, trying to get to the low back first, then the mid back. Then let the shoulders come down, the head comes down, and then once you're at the bottom, you'll just need to bring everything a bit closer. So your feet should be really far away when you arrive, but now you want to bring them within distance. So for me, if I reach forward, lift my chest, I can just about touch my heels. That for me is the perfect distance. It'll be different for everyone. We're going to go into the pelvic curl. So arms to the sides of your body, find that opening in your chest here. Your palms are down, your feet and knees are still a fist distance apart. Finding neutral pelvis. So we want the hip bones and pubic bones to be level. Take a breath in here. And then exhale to press your lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone upwards. Again, find that really strong lower abdominal work and then hold on to that. Stand into your feet as you start to lift the spine up and away, one vertebra at a time. Feel your hamstrings and your inner thighs working, but you're constantly trying to tuck the tailbone more and more and more. Hold at the top, inhale, and then exhale to roll down. And I want you to now tuck the tailbone even more. So think pubic bone to nose as you come down. Really try and lengthen your spine as much as you can. And then the tailbone is the very last thing to arrive as you go back to neutral. Inhale. We go again. Exhale to curl first and then lift. And use this as an opportunity to check in with your body. So notice if one side's wanting to do more of the work. Is one hip lifting faster than the other? Notice those imbalances and just use it as information. Inhale, hold at the top, and exhale to roll down. Think of your abdominals wrapping around your spine as you roll back to the mat. Really, really curling that tailbone until the very last minute, and then release. We're going to go for one more. Inhale, exhale, curling up. Stand into your heels. Connect your glutes into that lift. Keep that strong, strong lower abdominal work. Make the tucked tailbone sensation the main focus here. Inhale at the top, hold it. And exhale to roll down. And I want you to really think pubic bone to nose for this last one. So the more you roll down, think each vertebra coming down one at a time, trying to keep the tailbone as lifted as you possibly can until the very, very last moment, and then you release it to neutral. And then let's open the arms to a T position, palms to the ceiling. We need to connect your ribs down into the mat now. Draw the right leg to tabletop and the left leg to tabletop, squeeze them together. So we've got right angles in the right knees. If you can see, my knees are over my hips. The shins are parallel to the floor. I want you to keep the knees squeezing together now. And before we go into any movement, think about your ribs, particularly the back of your ribs. I want them to be heavy in the mat. Now we're going to keep them heavy as you inhale to rotate both legs over to the right. Both shoulders stay anchored down, and I want you to pull your left ribs away in opposition. And then exhale to use your obliques to pull the legs back to the center, slowly and with control. Now we go over to the left. Inhale over to the left, finding that opposition again, pulling the right ribs down. Exhale, drawing your waist back to the center. And inhale over to the right. This is one of those where it can just feel like a stretch if you don't really tune in with the details. So I invite you to take it slower, control the range. Inhale over to the left. You want to try and avoid arching the back. There will be a degree of arching, but you're constantly trying to pull those ribs down as you rotate. One more each way. Inhale over to the right. And you want to keep looking straight up to the ceiling. Keep the back of the neck long. Try not to involve your neck in this. Try not to feel any tension here. Last one to the left. And exhale, drawing back. Holding here. Place the left foot down. Place the right foot down. And then reach one leg at a time away. Squeeze the legs together. We're going to go into the roll up. Reach your arms up and overhead, palms facing one another. Inner thighs are squeezing together here. Really active from fingertips to toes. And then before starting to move, I want you to try and draw your ribs down. Find that abdominal engagement. I'm going to inhale into a chest lift as you reach the arms up and over. The fingertips are reaching to your toes. Arms stay parallel to the floor now. As you exhale, find that C curve to roll up. You want your lower back to be rounded, just like we had at the start of the class. Coming all the way until we're at the top, where the shoulders are just in front of the line of the pelvis. Your abdominals pull back. Inhale. And exhale to roll down. And just like before, we're going to try and get that low back to the mat first. So keep scooping through the base of the spine. So you're trying to reach the tailbones to the ceiling. Mid-back arrives, arms come up, head, neck, chest down. Back at the start position. We go again. Inhale, lift head, neck, chest, arms. Exhale, roll up. So really, really find that strong abdominal engagement to lift. We don't want to use momentum here. Inhale, pausing at the top, grow tall here. And exhale to roll back down. Good. Low back arrives, then the mid back. Arms come up, head, neck, chest down. One more just to come to seated. Inhale, arms, head, neck, chest. Before you start to lift, try and pull your lower abdominals into the mat. Keep that sensation as you roll up. Keeping that sense of opposition again. Hold here, inhale, and then exhale to relax. Release, shake out your arms if you want to for a moment. Otherwise, keep them right chin in front of you. Flex your feet, open your feet to just wider than your shoulders. We've got that nice vertical spine again. We're going to do spine stretch. So feet are pushing into an imaginary wall in front of you. Take a breath in. And then exhale, nod your chin to your chest. Start to roll the spine forward and down, one vertebra at a time. Imagine your spine is peeling away from a wall behind you, reaching over an imaginary beach ball that's underneath your ribs. Inhale at the bottom, pausing here for a moment. I want you to check that your shoulders haven't crept up to your ears. And then exhale to stack the spine back up from the lower back first. Feel your abdominals support your ribs, or your spine even, mid-back, upper back, head up at the top. And again, inhale and exhale, rolling forward and down. So we're not collapsing into this. It's a really intentional reach. It's called spine stretch, but it's also strong abdominal work. Inhale at the bottom. See if you can reach the hands a bit further. And then exhale to lift the lower back first. Then the mid-back. Then the upper back. Nice and tall. One more. Inhale. Exhale. One bone at a time is rounding forward. At the same time, again, opposition. So fingertips and abdominals pull in opposite directions. Inhale, keep flexing those ankles. And then exhale to roll back up, stacking each vertebra back on top of one another, lifting at the top. And then relax the arms, bring the feet in towards your glutes. I'm going to do rolling like a ball. So bring your hands around the ankles, sit behind your sit bones so that you can then hover the feet. So if you just need to have a wiggle about like I do, please do. So we want the legs squeezing together. I want you to find this two-way push where the hands and ankles are really pushing into one another, and that should connect you into your arms and your shoulders. You should feel the whole body working here. We're going to again find that lower back rounding. So the lumbar spine is where we want this curve. So your abdominals pull back now, look into your knees. Inhale to tuck the tailbone even more, to roll back. Exhale up, balance, keep the feet hovering. And again, inhale back. So we're moving through the pelvis. Exhale up. And you want to keep the shape perfectly intact as you go through this. So we don't want the neck to fling about. You don't want to lose that control in the arms. So your whole body is working. And take it again as information. So if you find that you kind of shift about from one side of your mat to the other, that generally means that one side of your body is taking over. So just tune in. Think of the abdominals on the sides of your waist, your obliques, working evenly. We're going to go for 3 more. Take it as a bit of fun. It's mobilizing your spine. And just play with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Last one. Exhale, lift and hold. And then place the feet down. Sit back slightly so you can cross your legs. Flip forward. Hands are going to come to the mat. Come into your hands and knees. We're going to do cat stretch. So we want to find a really strong quadruped position first. So you've got a flat back, hands are right underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. And I want you to really push the ground away with your hands here. So you're strong in those shoulders. Abdominals pull up so they are active. We're not just sinking in our center here. The back of the neck is long. Take a breath in here. And then exhale. Again, we're going to focus on the lumbar spine, so the lower back. You're going to curl the tailbone. The lower abdominals are pulling up as you round the base of the spine. The upper back and head follow that rounding. They just respond to it. And then you come through neutral, so the flat back. Keep your abdominals engaged. Now, as you go into your upper back, you inhale and you extend the top of the spine. So open the chest, collarbones wide, looking just forward. Try and push your breastbone forward here. And then through neutral, exhale, rounding the bottom of your spine. Abdominals pull away from the mat. And through neutral, inhale into the upper back. Open the chest. You might find that you need to soften that stability in your shoulders a bit just to get that real opening. Through neutral, we're going to go one more each way. Exhale, lower back. And through neutral, inhale, upper back, open the chest. Hold onto your abdominals here, don't just let them hang. And then come to neutral, and then just sit back and turn to face the camera, swing your legs around. And we're gonna do an adapted version of Mermaid from the Reformer. So I've got my legs in a zigzag position. So I've got my right leg open out to the side with the shin in line with the front of the mat. My left leg is internally rotated with the shin in line with the end of the mat. Then from here, I'm going to open my arms into a T position and then grow tall in the spine. So I want you to take a moment to think of this position of your spine. Imagine that you've got a really rigid pole running through your pelvis, through your rib cage to the crown of the head. It's going to stay like that now. We're going to now inhale to hinge sideways. So keep that straight line in your body all the way until your right fingertips come to the mat. Stabilize slightly in your right fingertips without dumping into it. I want you to now think of the stability in your right shoulder as you exhale and rotate from the waist so the left arm reaches towards that right hand that's down on the mat. You want to try and square the shoulders here, so it should feel like a massive stretch through the left of the waist. And then stabilize in your right shoulder as you rotate to face forward again. And then inhale to hinge back up. We're going to go for 2 more on this side. So inhale, hinge, stabilizing the shoulder as you exhale and rotate. You want to try and get your breastbone facing towards the mat as you rotate. Inhale back and exhale to lift. 1 more. Inhale and exhale, rotate. Inhale, back facing forward, still in that diagonal line. And then exhale, lift up. And then if you can, challenge yourself. Don't touch the mat to switch your legs to the other side. And just take a moment just to really grow tall in your spine here. And we're going to go the other way. So inhale, hinging to the left side now. And then exhale, rotating from the waist as you reach that right arm. It might feel really different one side to the other, just for me. Inhale, face forward. Exhale to lift. 2 more. Inhale and exhale, reach. Inhale back and exhale to lift. Final one. Inhale and exhale, rotating. Trying to get the breastbone facing down, squaring the shoulders. Inhale back and exhale to lift. And then shake it all out. I'm going to turn side on. We're going to do spine twist now. So you want your legs straight in front of you, feet are flexed, grow tall in the spine again. So we want this elongation. You're going to stay straight in your back now. The feet are really, really pushing against an imaginary wall. I want you to think now from your lower waist downwards, through the legs, through the feet, this doesn't move. You're going to bring your hands lightly behind your head. So interlace your fingers lightly behind the head. Elbows in your peripheral vision. And then we're going to think of this as just movement through the waist. You're going to inhale now. And then exhale to rotate your breastbone to the right and double pulse. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center, and to the right. Inhale, center, to the left. and center. Keep going while I chat. So with each rotation, I want you to try and grow taller. So imagine that the crown of your head is being pulled to the ceiling every time you rotate. And you also want your nose to stay in line with the center of your sternum as you rotate. So don't cheat by turning your head side to side. Don't let your neck convince you that you're going further than you are. If you keep this in the waist, it's surprisingly hard in a good way. Last one to the left. And inhale, center, relax, let go. And then we're gonna do this with as much control as possible or with grace as possible. You're gonna turn onto your fronts while I just unclip my mic. So finishing with some back extension. So we will do a modified version of swan dive prep where we don't involve the legs, which are normally involved, but we're just going to focus on the spine today. So forearms are down, hands are in front of your shoulders, elbows are planted. I want your legs close together, external rotation from the hips if that feels possible. If the legs can be squeezing together, even better. Press your pubic bone down into the mat. That will protect your lower back here. Take a breath out to prepare. And then keep your forearms down. Inhale to start to lift the tip of your head. So your eye line comes slightly forward, then your neck, and then your upper back. I want you to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Lift as high as you can with your forearms down, keeping the shoulders connected into your back. Then when you can go no further, you exhale back down. So we're not going higher than the forearms initially. And again, inhale. So from the tip of the skull, through the neck, through the upper back. I want you to try and push your breastbone forward as much as you can as you lift just to the point where your elbows are still down. And then exhale, reversing the movement. So coming down through the mid-back first, through the upper back, through the neck, the head comes down last. Then you've got the option if you want to make this a bit bigger. So now inhale, crown of the head, neck, push the breastbone forward, really try and get into that thoracic spine. Then when you can get no further, start to lift the elbows away, start to straighten the elbows, only coming as high as you can keep the shoulders away from the ears, keep your abdominals pulling in, and then exhale to come back down with control. Through the bottom of the spine, through the mid-back, come to your forearms so the elbows come down. Then when we go through the upper back, neck, head. Just one more to finish. So inhale, keep it controlled. Opening the collarbones as you lift. Feel that deep work around the back extensors as you support this lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, controlling the way down. Feel all of the muscles in your spine working. Lowering down with control. And then at the bottom, push your hands into the mat and reach your sit bones over your heels. So sit on your heels, reach your fingertips far in front of you, drop the crown of the head between your arms and breathe into your back. You get a big stretch now in the back. We need to take 3 rounds of breath here. With each breath, try and stretch out that rib cage even more. Final round of breath. And then from here, keep your head down, walk your hands towards your knees, and then gently, slowly roll yourself up to seated. Think of stacking each vertebra on top of one another, one at a time. The crown of the head is the final thing to come up. And then from there, we are done. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you feel better for moving. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, hope to see you soon.